Some moments make history. Some moments leave a mark. Some moments change empires. And all those moments had some spice to them. Whenever there's spice, there's Vesta Bomb.
That entire commercial was created with AI, and today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how you can create it yourself. Every good commercial starts off with a good idea, and the name of the fictional hot sauce brand we created is called Vesta Bomb. Vesta Bomb means the state fire. In ancient Rome, the sacred fire of Vesta was kept burning continuously. If the flame went out, it would spell disaster for the Roman state. The same thing could happen if you don't use this hot sauce. Once you have your idea, the next step is to create some references. A reference can be an image, text, or video used in order to keep your scenes and objects consistent. Think lighting, colors, or composition when it comes to your visual style. For generating reference images, we just use GPT Image 2.0 for creating the logo and for creating the hot sauce bottles. This image model is great when it comes to generating new product designs, logos, character sheets, or just storyboarding new ideas. However, in the AI creative world, the best model can change from month to month. After having your references, we broke down generating our scenes into a simple 3-step process. Step 1 is to create your voiceover. Step 2 is to generate your images with the references. And step 3 is to generate your videos with the images you just made. Now, let's see how we use this process. This was the clip that was used in scene 1. First step, voiceover. Some moments make history.
Some moments make history.
This was done using Eleven Labs as the audio model and Daniel Brooks as the speaker. We like to separate the voice from the video just to keep the voice more consistent and so you can have more control over everything while editing. We use this dress and the Vesta Bomb hot sauce bottle as references to create this image. After creating this image, we then animated it using Cdance 2.0. As you can tell, this Cdance 2.0 prompt is super specific with the camera angles so that you can get exactly what you're looking for. There are also two really big things I'd like to point out with this prompt. The first is where it says no music, only sound effects. Sometimes different video models like VO3 or Cdance 2.0 will add their own background music and sound effects unless you tell it not to, through a technique called negative prompting. Negative prompting is just telling the AI what you don't want to happen. For example, if you say no background music, then it'll have no background music, but will keep the special effects and sound effects. If you leave the toggle on, it'll add anything. The second thing is telling the model to be cinematic. We notice it adds a slight touch to your videos as opposed to non-cinematic videos, like ones you'd see on social media or on your phone. Now, don't trust it to make an entire cinematic movie for you, because it won't. But it adds just a slight touch that makes it better. This was scene 2. In the 3-step process, the first thing we did was generate the audio using a voiceover node. You may notice that this scene has 4 images, with these 2 being the same. It's an image of an astronaut holding a Vesta Bomb hot sauce bottle. Although it's much less obvious for these 2 images, using this as a reference image still captures and keeps the style consistent. And finally, for the video, we take the last image of the first scene, so this one right here, we take that last image and we use it as a reference in the first frame of this video. In between, we also added the cool transitions. For example, we took the last frame, so this image here, and made it the first frame in this video. Then we said to add a side smooth transition to show a footprint of the astronaut on the moon, which is this image right here. We also made sure to mention it specifically so the model doesn't choose a random astronaut footprint. Then we told the model to have the camera pan up and show the astronaut holding the bottle of hot sauce, which is this image right here. We also made sure to use the @ symbol, so again, the model knows specifically what image we're referencing. For example, I could click on the @ symbol and then reference a whole host of other options. For this specific example though, I would click on nodes and then choose the node that I want. We also like to be specific when mentioning each image, We don't like them popping up at the wrong time. Final thing I'll say about this video node is that we like to add a sound section with a negative prompt saying to add no music, and then positive prompts describing what sound effects we want. This is the clip that was scene 3. I think you guys know the drill by now. We're starting off with the voiceover node.
Some moments change empires.
11 Labs is our model, and Daniel Brooks is our speaker. Technically, the first shot of this scene is the last frame of the previous video, but the first shot of ancient Egypt is this temple of Cleopatra. We like to use wide-angle shots as establishing shots. An establishing shot shows the viewers where the scene takes place, so they understand what's happening. This is opposed to close-up shots, like the one we see in this next image. The next 2 images are close-up shots of Cleopatra, with the final image being the Vestabomb hot sauce bottle sitting on the table next to her. Now, some of these images may look random. However, they're all combined into a video node through a series of smooth transitions. Same as last time, we like to be specific with our camera angles. We also like to mention when each reference should specifically be used in the video. The final clip in the entire video follows the same structure as previously. For this image, we just used a regular living room, but added our own details to it. Sometimes, instead of trying to force everything into one node, you can break it down into smaller bits. That way, it's easier for the model to understand what you're trying to capture. For example, this scene is broken down into 2 clips. The first clip is a transition between Cleopatra's throne room and the living room. The second video starts off with the last frame of the living room video until a hand reaches into the POV and starts pouring the hot sauce onto the camera lens as it blurs into a dark red background where the logo appears with a cool motion effect. The biggest thing to take away is you don't need to generate an entire commercial from one prompt. After you have your references, step 1 is to generate your audio, step 2 is to generate your images, and step 3 is to generate your scenes. This gives you much more control and makes it easier to maintain consistency throughout the entire video. Now that you have all of your clips, you can add them together using the Magnific plugin on Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut. And that's it. I'll be including all the prompts in the description below. See you in the next one.